and are assisting them to ensure that what is agreed is what is carried out. Please, we also are appealing that if you have no business coming onto the bridge, if you are a trucker and you are not carrying essential goods, please do not try to breach these arrangements because you'll be turned back. There are also some construction companies that have commenced. Many of them, we understand that the federal government have asked them to go back to work. These two state governments have agreed that they will do everything possible to ensure that the activities are not impacted significantly. We appreciate that this is a very difficult time for every person, but so far, I think people living on both sides of the bridge have been conducting themselves very responsibly, and would appeal that that carries on to happen. Thank you.
Thank you, SSG. Gentlemen of the press. I'd like to thank the SSG of Anambra State and the delegation for finding time to come here. Unfortunately, we find ourselves in very difficult times, and as we all work towards containing the COVID-19 pandemic, there comes a bit of hardship as well. We sincerely and anyone who may have been inconvenienced as a result of the steps being taken by the respective state governments in implementing the directive of Mr. President. We will work, like he said, to ensure that there's a free flow of traffic on the bridge, and we would also work towards ensuring that we do not have stationary traffic on the bridge as well, so that the integrity of the bridge is not compromised. But our plea to everyone is that if you have no business on the bridge or going across interstate lines, please restrict yourself and respect yourself by staying where you are. And for the truckers and trailers and essential service providers, in addition to what the Honorable SSG of Anambra State has said, if you defy the directives or the laid down guidelines we have set, your truck will be impounded, because it will cost us a lot of problems and a lot of hardship each time we have to turn you back. So please, before you depart your station, ensure that you have no more than 3 people in your truck, and ensure that you're not carrying frivolous goods. Interstate commercial travel is still banned, and so transporters should also ensure that they do not try and cross state lines. We've noticed that a lot of them come alone in their buses, and then people would have walked across. We're going to be more vigilant, and we're going to ensure that such buses are impounded as well. Please do not make it very difficult for us, because it's already very difficult as it is now. It's taking its toll on everyone. Cooperate with us, work with us to ensure that we're able to keep Deltans and Anambrarians, the Anambra and Deltans safe this period. I want to thank the Commissioners of Police very much for their support, and for members of the task force and members of the security agencies as well. Thank you very much.
We have questions. One or two questions.
No questions.
Oh, you have questions?
Please, I think the next important thing is for us to try and clear the traffic.
Instead of questions now.
Please, I think for people gathered here, what they need to see is that we start clearing this. Okay, please, they need action.
One of the questions I want to ask, there's something you said that is realistic and being human. The main issue I'm looking towards to hear the response of the two states, though the meeting is coming late because people have suffered enough. what I'm asking is concerning the traders, bearing in mind that most of the traders in Anambra are living in Delta State. There's no policy or any measure I hear from the two governments what will be done to ensure that this exodus, sort of, or can we call it a war situation, is addressed. Secondly, we have other essential services like me or people that work that are supposed to move. When you see the line of this articulated vehicle, the great law, I don't know, even if we are allowed to have access to the road, how will you pass? Will you carry your vehicle on the head? Which measure will be put in place to see that a medical doctor that lives in Anambra or live in Delta that's crossing the state, or a journalist like me, or other like you, Julius beggars, and they said about having them at one point before moving them. Why not make a general decision on how we'll make our movement free? Thank you, sir.
I want to ask the issue of the gate that was erected by the Anambra State Governments. We erected a gate here and the other side, and we have that the pedestrians, their gates are locked permanently, but they are accessing this main bridge, causing gridlock of persons and vehicles. So what's the essence of the gate in the first place, and what is it doing?
Do you want to take any of the questions?
Yeah, I'll take the first one. Yes, we agree that, and we said it, I said it, that a lot of the people that trade in Anambra State actually live in Delta. But as much as we're here to work out solutions, practical and realistic solutions, but also my own suggestion will be, in such difficult times, perhaps people can also meet government midway. And what do I mean by that? If you live in Onitsha and you work here, you may decide that, okay, I'm going to find how I can stay on this side, stay here for a period of time. Because these are very unusual times we find ourselves in. Nobody planned for it, but we're just doing what we need to do to keep people safe. But we're going to try, we're going to work very hard to ensure that we're able to create a free lane. The task force teams also will be able to identify persons that are very critical, pressmen, doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and so on. But please, if you have the opportunity to stay on the side where you work for an extended period of time, my advice is that you do so. Regarding the market, I think Anambra State Government will speak on that. But like he said, there are economic considerations that we're also giving. But we're going to work hard. If it means, once we acknowledge that most of the people that trade in the Onitsha market live here, then it means that they need to be granted unrestricted access as well. So those are things that we're working out today, and we're sure that we'll come out with some positives.
I think there's no point taking other questions. The next thing is to clear this bridge. On the gate, the issue of gate has been dealt with. I think that's very important. Anambra State and Delta have dealt with the issue of the bridge. Thank you. But it's very important for everyone to remember that there is still ban on inter-state movement. And it's very important to bear that in mind so that people do the right thing. It is the failure of people doing the right thing that quite often force government into this kind of situation. Please do the right thing. If you're an essential worker, you'll be able to cross the borders to go to work. But those that are not doing essential work, they are required to stay where they are. Thank you.
Inside.
And that is where, because that's when people can touch.